Good evening. Welcome to Focus. I'm your host, Cindy McKee. Tonight we have Mimi Orison from Mimi's Crafts in Satellite Beach.
Thank you for having me
thanks
tonight.
for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
And you've been in Satellite Beach doing this for what, 20 years?
Getting ready to celebrate 20 years this month.
That's awesome. And you just offer so many things at your studio. Tell us a little bit about it, and then we'll bring up. Tell us a little bit about
Well, I started
what you
20
offer.
years ago in the old time, selling greenware and things like that, and kind of went with the modern times in the 2000s, and we paint pottery. You can come in and paint pottery. All-inclusive pricing. What you see is what you get. You can do some glass fusing, as I brought some samples over here. I started also doing the canvas painting, like the social artwork. We do mosaics, and brand new, we're doing the resin jewelry.
All right, okay, that's quite a selection. I mean, anything that anybody wants to do, they can pretty much come do it at your studio.
Yes, I always say we have high chairs for the young ones. We have booster seats. Oldest customer is 92, and we have newborns that come in. Newborn to 3 months come in, and they get a free footprint tile.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great. Well, let's bring up maybe some photos that Mimi brought with her so we can show some of the activities that go on at the studio.
Okay. This is glass fusing. This is something not only did I do this summer with the kids in camp, but I redid it a couple of weeks ago, and there was all adults that showed up. It's a very fun project.
Yeah, it's cute with the turtle.
Hold it in the light, you can see right through it. This is one of my customers who's very artistic and very addicted. She travels all over the country, so she started buying her paints, and before she goes, she comes in and buys a bunch of bisques, and when she comes back, she brings it in so I can fire it for her.
So this one started out as just a plain piece of ceramic.
A plain bowl, and
Okay.
she just drew everything on there with a pencil. Pencil fires off at the end, and she just painted and had a blast doing it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay.
Beautiful whale. This is actually a turntable. It's about 14 inches in diameter, and these are part of the mosaics that we offer. They're actual shapes. They're not just, a piece of cement. They're actual shapes like monkeys, all kinds, turtles. And this is a turntable, and she drew her design on there with a pencil again, and just started cutting some glass and putting it together.
Right. So it's like a lazy Susan that you could put in the middle of your kitchen table or something.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was last week, a group of 46 children from Sea Park Elementary. They're studying Native Americans right now, and they came in to do some terracotta bowls. And in and out in an hour. They were absolutely fabulous.
That's an amazing feat, to get 46 kids in and out in an hour.
I've been doing it a long time, and I take control of the situation. They listen, and they're fabulous.
Yeah.
Yes, teachers were asking me how they did it, and they couldn't have done any better. They were absolutely awesome.
And you can tell they're all having fun.
Yes, they are.
Great fun.
Yep. Beautiful little bowls. And actually, they're already all done, waiting to be picked up. Hopefully, they'll pick them up tomorrow.
Great. So you work a lot with schools and
Yes,
children's organizations and things.
Yeah, not only do I go to the schools where they come to me, but I also, I'm a retail store as well. I sell products, I sell clay, I sell slip, I sell glazes, I sell just about anything an artist needs.
Right.
And if I don't have it, I'll see if I can get it for them.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. And then you also offer your space for like birthday parties and things
We
too,
do
don't
birthday
you?
parties, we do them for children as well as adults, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be a birthday party. It can be a celebration for your sports team at the end. Do Girl Scout badge work, Boy Scout badge work. So we do it all.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Should I hold up some of these other things that Mimi brought?
That's a little night light with a sheep on it. It's very simple little pieces
Fused
of glass.
right? Fused glass. So the glass is already cut into these shapes, and you just...
Yeah, when it comes to children, especially and even adults that are just starting out, if I'm offering a class of some types, I'll just kind of have a kit. I cut them all up so there's no issues with them trying to cut and hurt themselves.
You said this was a kid project, right?
This was something done this summer. It's actually a very popular project. I had a young man come back in and did about a half a dozen different trees because Mom liked it so much for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we're actually having this class in about 2 weeks at the studio.
And this is more fused glass. I love this piece. This is
Once
beautiful.
it's been fired once flat, which it needs to be done, then it can be put into a mold, a slump, and then we slump it and give it a shape, just like the bowl and then the wine bottle.
Right, I'm going to hold the wine bottle up
So you
now.
can bring me your wine
This
bottles.
was a wine bottle.
And we flatten them out flat
You
or
just
a
melted
shape.
it. Right, now it makes a beautiful table. I guess you could
Condiment dish,
put
cheese, crackers.
Or you could just put decorations in there too, those pretty little ball things. and-
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great. So you're going to do a demo for us tonight.
I sure am. I'm going to show you how easy it is to accomplish a project in just about no time at all. I'm going to show you the first step in this. What I would do is I wet my brush, squeeze the water out. I'm going to take this and I base coat my tile. Just 1 coat is transparent, 2 coats semi-transparent, 3 to 4 good coats. You're not going to see through them.
You're splatting a little bit.
They do wash out.
Oh, they do?
Yes, food safe washout. So I've
good.
got this done. So I would wait a couple of minutes for it to be done. At this point, it has the glaze on it. So now I went on.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's very rough. It's been treated with
it's been
something
tre-
so it
it's
accepts
our-
the paint?
Yes, this is
Okay.
what I've done. I've base coated it white. So now I went on the internet. I wanted to show something good, or you can come out with a picture, something that you see that you like. And I found this cute little penguin. I chose it because it's very sweet. It's very simple. So my next step at this point is to take a piece of regular tissue paper. Okay? And what I do is I put it on the penguin, and with a pencil, I will start to outline them, just the lines. So once all of this is done, I have my little penguin already traced here on the tissue paper, all ready to go. Now I can take this penguin, I can center him, I can put him at an angle, and then I'm going to take a fine tip Sharpie. And then at this point, what I do is I retrace my project. And you have to remember, anything that I trace on here, if I were to fire and put in the kiln right now, nothing would be on there, it would be a blank tile.
Because it fires the pencil right
the
off.
pencil right off,
Okay.
yes. And what is great about this is if you want to add something, I have a little knob on his head right now. So let's say when I'm painting, I've decided I want to bring it down here and have a little ball like this, I can do it. It's not a big issue. So if I take this off, you'll see that it's been transferred onto
That's
the
why
tile.
you use tissue paper and not tracing paper,
Right, and
because
the
it will
tissue-
bleed through.
Right, and the tissue paper, you want to make sure that there's no wax behind it.
Right.
So then you have a full piece of tissue paper and your design has been traced on there. And here I have it, ready to be painted.
Okay. Yeah. let 'em-
Like I said, if I were to fire this as is, there would be nothing left on it.
Even the Sharpie comes right off
The
too in
Sharpie
the
would
firing?
come off, yes.
Okay.
If I had done traced it and just used a pencil to draw on there, because they don't make lead like they used to, I would just go like this and smear the whole pencil. No matter how messy it looks, that pencil is totally gone when it's done.
Right.
So now I'm going to add a little bit of color. Now for his cheeks, he's got some little cute cheeks.
And what kind of paints are you using there? You already
These
said
are-
they're completely washable.
Yeah, these are concept underglazes. They're by Duncan. I love to create. They also own Tulip products, all of those, and Arlene products. And they're food safe, non-toxic. So if a child just happens to take his hand and put it in his mouth, may not taste good, but they're not going to get sick.
Right.
And they wash out of clothes and so forth. So like for his little cheeks, take my pencil, my little finger, and I now have cheeks.
Uh-huh, cute.
If I want to do with the eyes, very simple. I have this little bottle here. It's called Designer Liner, and it's not for painting, but it's for design work. And I always try it out on my placemat first, and I can come here, and I can do his eyes. Once I've painted it, I can also use these to do the outline. If I wanted to do the outline of the feet,
So you would paint first and then outline
I would
it?
do that.
Okay. Would the paint cover over that? Is the paint opaque enough that it would cover the liner?
Well, it depends what I do. I would paint around the liner. There's a lot of times that I will do all the liner first, and then I have a technique that we call drop and pull. It makes it a little easier, and this is what I did with the final product. Let's work on this.
And of course, all these products that you're using, you sell in your studio.
I sell in my
Okay.
studio. I sell in a smaller quantity. I also sell glazes. This here, we're going to do the snowflakes. Dry sponge, a little bit of paint, and I have a snowflake stamp. And if you notice, none of my stamps at the studio have any kind of wood in there because they can go around a bowl, they can go around a cup. I find a snowflake that I like. I go on here. I just smeared my eyes on here. Then I will take it and I will put it down, and I now have a snowflake.
Yeah, and does it dry pretty fast? Like you said, you smeared the eyes, but
well,
that was the liner.
Yeah, that was the liner. Everything else.
But the little cheeks are all they dry. It dries real quick.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And then I can take. Oops. The drop and pull technique is very simple as well. Come on, you're stuck in there. The old trick. Squeeze it again. I take my brush. I take a glob of paint and I drop it. It's called drop and pull. The minute it starts thinning out, drop again and pull. By doing it this way, you really don't need to do 3 good coats. This will take good
You just put
care.
one big heavy coat on. Mm-hmm. And do these paints change color when you fire them? Do they become more brilliant?
This is very deceiving right now because these are not the colors they're going to be. I did bring out a final product. If I wanted to do something a little different as well, that I did not do on the original, is take the sponge, and I can sponge around here if I want to, or I can do a frame.
Make it look like it's standing on ice and snow,
Yeah,
kind of.
I can do a frame as well on it.
Yeah.
The sponge does wonderful things. I could add a tree if I wanted to. So it's always left up to the imagination, get those blinders off and have fun. Here, for the little pom-pom, I have what we call snow, and this is what the palette knife is for. Take a little bit and I put it on here, and this will look like snow when it's all done.
What do you mean it will look like snow?
I'll show you in a moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. So this is very easy to do. And of course, an artist would always sign their work. So I would take a color that I can see, and I would come in the corner here, and the same color here, and I would sign with my initials. So once this is dry, it goes on a shelf at the studio, and we have a bucket of glaze. And we will dip this in a bucket of glaze where it'll all be clear glazed. You won't see through it at all. And once it's done, this would be your final product. See the difference in the color?
Yeah, that's much more brilliant once it's fired. It's amazing.
And if you were talking about the snow, you can feel it over there.
Yeah, and it looks almost pearlized. Or, yeah.
So I could have done a little, I could have done it differently. I brought a frame. So this makes a great Christmas gift because a tile like this is only $8. Then you want to buy.
And then you have to get the frame too.
You don't have to. That's up to you.
Okay.
But there's wood frames. We have triple frames. So if you're doing some art and you want to have it carried over, we have double, triple frames. We have them in rosewood, black, and neutral. We also have some that you can paint yourself and to match whatever it is that you want to match.
Right, right. Okay. Are you going to paint any more on that one?
We sure can if you'd like to.
Yeah,
Would you like to try as well?
Sure. Drop and drag.
Drop and pull.
Oh,
yes.
drop and pull. I was
Drop and
close.
pull.
See, I'm a graphic designer. We drop and drag.
Close enough. Close enough.
Drop
That's it.
and pull. Leave it real nice and thick.
Yeah, see, right now you're pulling, you need more paint because you're pulling too thin.
Yeah, because when you start to see the rows like that, then it's too thin, right?
Absolutely. So as I always say, we're set up for the creatively challenged.
This paint has a real nice consistency to it.
It does. It really does.
It's like smooth as butter. There, did I put that on thick enough?
Yep, I think you did.
Okay. And then you just wash it off with water?
Wash it off, yes.
I can't believe this is all water soluble.
Yeah.
That's going to be fired?
In the old days, as of 2009, I believe it is, the law required that paints no longer have lead in them. Clay no longer has lead in them. So because of that, everything is food safe. There's no issue there.
I'm going to make a scarf striped.
Absolutely. That's where your creativity comes in and you can do anything. So when somebody comes in and says to me, oh, there's just no way that I can do this, I always laugh because there's a million things that I can show you that you can do and you will surprise. I think the best gift is when they come out of the kiln. It's like Christmas every time for me. And when we open up the kiln.
Yeah.
And then, you know, customers come in and I'll present them their piece and I'll go, here you go. And I'll go, well, that's not mine. Yes, it is. No,
because it looks so beautiful after it's fired.
Yes, I'm sure. And they're like, wow, I did this. And it's a gift in its own.
Yeah. There, I did a scarf. Is there any more of his scarf hanging down? I can't tell. That's his scarf? Okay, his stripes would go.
You have these two parts here of the scarf.
Okay, we'll see.
You can do them in whatever way that you want.
There. He's getting cute.
And you can get a little bit of black if you want to work on his body.
Okay.
Now, one of the things
I want to do some snow down here.
Okay. One of the things that we do, oh, this is the snow here.
Oh, okay. What color did I just use? Oh, that was the white primer that you used,
You can use the brush to do that as well. One of the things that we do also, we close Sundays and Mondays, but we have 2 evenings a week that we're open. We have Wednesday night, which is our adult-only night, 18 and above. Over 21, it's BOY. You bring wine if you want to. You can bring your dinner, chill out, and just have a good time.
Fun. What night is that?
Every Wednesday night.
All right.
And the third Wednesday of the month is always potluck. And if you bring a dish to share, we'll give you a discount off of your project.
Fun.
Yes, I have a dancing teapot that is absolutely marvelous.
Really?
I have a whole selection of the teapot, the sugar, the creamer, the flower pot that absolutely looks like something out of Disney. It's very, very sweet. Oh,
You know, you didn't bring, oh, there's my black.
There it is.
That's for his body.
That is for his body. And then you'll have a little bit of yellow for his feet.
Okay, let me just paint in this one little flipper here, and then we'll show some more of the different crafts and things that you offer, Mimi, because you've brought quite a few things with you. Yeah, this is fun.
It's very therapeutic. You can get lost in it. As they say, it's cheaper than therapy.
Definitely.
You know, they're into it when the heads are bobbing and the tongues are hanging out.
That's fun. I like the feel of that paint. I'm going to hand that to you to set over there.
Thank you.
And we've got some beautiful items that you've brought here.
Yes.
Maybe you should hold up those mosaics that I see sitting next to you.
These are, as I was talking about mosaic shapes earlier, you saw the turntable, the Lazy Susan, and this is a turtle that we did with the kids, and some of these are done with adults, and here's a frog. We have football helmets, we have picture frames, we have dog leash holders. We have a little bit of everything, horse heads, cupcakes, owls. Owls are very popular right now.
Yeah, they're back in.
They are back in.
But then you have all these little, what would you call these? Not jewels, but...
They're tiles. They're glass tiles.
But like the round ones.
These are just the glass, just glass pebbles, inexpensive glass pebbles. This is a different type of glass that I would use in the glass fusing. To make it in layman terms, it has a COE, which means that when the glass is fired, it expands at a certain rate and cools down at a certain rate. So I can't mix all the glasses together. If I were to break the bottle and try to use this on here, it wouldn't work.
They wouldn't fuse, they wouldn't meld.
Several things can happen. I can open the kiln, it could have blown up.
Oh.
Or I'll pick up the piece and they'll be in layers. As I pick them up, they all come apart. Or somebody will pick them up and say, see, you were wrong. It looks absolutely beautiful. And then it'll be on their shelf a couple of months later and it'll go kaboom and explode in a million pieces.
Wow.
So we have to be very careful.
Right. You have to kind of know what you're doing and use the right materials.
Absolutely. And we also do the paint. We work with the glass paint, which is something, some of the classes that I'm taking at this time, they're just absolutely fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Classes that you're taking?
I'm taking, yes.
You find time to take classes?
It's that's my vacation. In February, I'm going up to Texas to take a 3-day seminar.
Great. On what?
On glass.
On glass,
With
okay.
a renowned artist named Mark Hufford.
Yeah. Awesome. Good for you.
Yeah.
Are we zoomed in on some of this work here? Okay.
We do the canvas work. I'm trying to, at this time, set up with some, what would you call it, with some of the restaurants, some of the business, co-promote together. So, you know, maybe the karate place just moved into our plaza, go in with them and with the kids maybe do a karate silhouette and have the, you know, co-promote with them.
Right.
And I'm thinking of doing this cafe one possibly with Bizarro's next door, have a wine night where they'll serve wine while they're painting and then they would get a discount on their dinner. And this is an upcoming class,
very fun.
Starry Night Snowman.
That's perfect for this time of year with the holidays coming up. We'll wait till they zoom in on that. We're still showing the cafe. Here comes Starry Night. So that's all acrylics then on the canvas?
Those are all acrylics, yes, yes. There's a lot of mixing, and there's not a color for each item that you see on there. There's a lot of mixing, blending of colors in order to get your colors.
Right.
And it's made very simple. You know, somebody comes in and says, there's just no way that I can do this. It is very, very simple, again, to do.
Is it transferred onto the canvas?
It is transferred onto the canvas, traced on there, and we give you step-by-step instructions on how to do it. If there's a particular brushstroke you're not familiar with, I'll gladly jump in, show you how to do it, and it's a lot of fun.
And you know what's amazing when you do things like that in a group, I've noticed? You're all doing the same subject, but everybody's looks a little different.
Everybody is different.
Isn't that always amazing?
That penguin you're zeroing in now is going to be a class this month in about 2 weeks.
Another good Christmas item.
Another good Christmas, yes. Trying to do a bunch of holiday, items. There's also,
and so is that a class geared towards children?
It can be geared towards children, 7 years of age on up, yeah. The larger ones are geared towards adults, the larger picture frames, the smaller ones are for children.
Okay. And a mermaid.
If you noticed on her belly button, I put a little
jewel.
A little jewel on there. I just wanted her to be sweet. Just wanted her to be sweet.
Now, I don't know if we told everybody exactly where you are. Did we give your address?
I am on A1A at 214 Highway A1A. I am one light south of the Pineda Causeway, across the street from the 7-Eleven on the west side, in a little strip mall right next to Bizarro's.
Very good. And you've been there a long time.
I've been there 10 years. Prior to that, I was 10 years on South Patrick Drive.
You've only been there 10 years? Okay.
I know it seems like longer, but
does.
yes, it's been 10 years. Yes.
Okay.
And then we have our new jewelry that just came in. It's very simple. You take a bezel, and you can take all kinds of little bead glass, what they call millefeuille, or any other medium that you want. You fill it in there, and you choose your charms.
So is that a fusion thing there too?
No, it's resin.
But you have to melt it or something once you fill in the...
Once you fill it in and you put your pieces in, then you choose a charm and you put it in. Then we pour resin over it, or the customer would pour resin. And then I have a UV light, a purple light, a blue light, put it in there for 15 minutes and voila, you're done, you're ready to go home with it.
Okay.
It's very sweet. I just fell in love with it. I thought it was a lot of
now
fun.
I see how the beads come in, because I see the one with the pink beads along the side.
Yeah, this one's got
you want to maybe
got
can
three
you
different beads in there.
Oh, here's the camera zooming in. I wanted to
3 different beads. This is glass in there. There's more glass in here too. But yeah, use all kinds of different items in there to put it in. This is my little ladybug. But they're a lot of fun.
And do you still do the ceramics that you started out with the greenware and everything?
I still do some pouring. I do several days a week I pour. I do special orders for all my addictive, plus for my shelves, of course. This is the big way to save money, because if I had to buy all the bisque that's on the shelf, I'd probably be bankrupt. And this saves me a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we've only got a couple more minutes. Is there anything else you can tell us or show us? Or
like I said, you know, if you want to book a party, don't wait, because they do book up pretty fast. Right now I'm getting ready to go to the schools in November, because there's a lot of clay angels we're going to be doing, a lot of things like that. So if you want to book
you actually go out and go into the classrooms? They don't always come to you?
No, they don't always come to me. This was a particular grant that they had received, and Sea Park's only 2 blocks from the studio. So they actually walked back as well, so it was very nice, yes.
That's great.
It
Great
was a lot of
experience
fun.
for the kids, yeah.
It sure is. And cleanup is always easy. That's why we use foils and placemat. Just put it in together, and voila, it's done in the trash.
Yeah, great, okay. And then you have all these little stamp things?
We have drawers full of different stamps, and anytime that I do buy a stamp, I take the wood off.
Oh, it did come with wood and you just pulled it off so it's more pliable.
But the small ones do, yeah.
Yeah. Well, great. I'm going to have to come up there and see what you have.
Absolutely.
All right. I think we showed everything, so...
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been great, Mimi.
Thank
you for being on the
My
show. You're
pleasure.
just so full of information
Thank
and
you.
fun crafts. So we'll see you next week with more Focus. Good night.
Good night.
My grandson always tells me I worry about him too much. And of course I do. I'm his grandma. Look at how good my tea turned out. Well, I was worried sick when he came home from Afghanistan. He came back wounded. It wasn't a wound you could see. It was a wound inside, post-traumatic stress disorder. My tea couldn't sleep. He was angry all the time. He felt like he didn't fit in anywhere. Then I heard about this group, Wounded Warrior Project, people helping warriors like T. So I figured who better to help my grandson than people who could understand what he'd been through. Now, I don't know what they do there, but my T is smiling again. So I figured they must be good people.
1 out of every 5 warriors return from the battlefield with post-traumatic stress disorder. Help support them at woundedwarriorproject.org.